This is, in fact, a very big year for Spyro. It's its 10-year anniversary for the franchise, and from a feature perspective, we're doing a lot of things for the first time. First and foremost, Spyro can fly at any point now. The player can basically, take to the skies whenever they want at any level. There's no restriction, and that's new to the franchise because in the previous titles, you either basically would jump and glide to a descent, or you were in a flying arena where you could do nothing but fly for that portion of the level. So we're really excited to sort of open up the gameplay and allow people that freedom that comes with flying. For the first time, you can play as both Spyro and Cinder, and you can switch between the characters at any point just by a tap of a button. And each character has their own unique moveset and abilities. And also, we're supporting drop and drop out co-op, so you can play with your friends. Play with your brother, mom, dad, what have you. And you can each take control of one of the dragons and play together. So we're really excited about those features. The cooperative play is local only. We're not supporting online, but you do share a screen, so it's not split screen. We really tried to differentiate each of the characters. So Spyro, being sort of this rare purple dragon, can harness all of the elements. So you can breathe fire, electricity, ice, and earth. Whereas Cinder, given her backstory, she was basically a villain in one of the previous titles. Given her sort of darker roots, her abilities are more sort of tapped into that dark side of things, so she can harness shadow, poison, fear, and wind. So each character has a very, very diverse and unique moveset. The biggest challenge was figuring out how to work in free flight with two-player. Because there's one person may want to fly this direction, one may want to run, on the ground in another direction. So it's figuring out how to handle two-player cooperative play with this flight ability. And the solution that we have in place, there's more or less like a tether between the two characters that keeps them more or less together within the same space. Because it's a sort of like a bungee, it has an elasticity to it so that, the moment you start to sort of test it, or the tension of that sort of bond between the two characters, you know that you need to start coming back towards one another. And it's very gentle the way it sort of like keeps you together on screen. So it works really well. We've always wanted to make Spyro a true E for everybody in the sense that something that we think, kids can enjoy, teenagers or adults, hardcore gamers or, sort of more casual gamers. Our combat system, for instance, your more experienced player might pull off 30, 40 hit combos, and they're going to be rewarded for that by getting, more experience gems and what have you. So there's definitely a layered sort of approach to how we've looked at things. Well, this is part 3 of a trilogy, so really the last 2 titles have sort of led up to everything that's happening in this game. This being the 3rd chapter, the Dark Master has been this sort of evil presence that we've referenced that's been sort of looming in the previous games. He's now been resurrected and he's sort of been set free upon the world, so he's sort of thrusting the world into darkness. And Spyro and Cinder, at the end of the Eternal Night, the last game, they were in the middle of this mountain that was more or less collapsing on top of them, so Spyro, to save their lives, cocooned them in this sort of like this magical sort of gem. And a couple years have passed, and they're now basically freed from this gem, and they see that the world has been thrust into darkness. We're bringing back Elijah Wood as the voice of Spyro. Gary Oldman has also come back as the voice of Ignitus, who's like a fire dragon, like an elder dragon. We have Wayne Brady voicing Sparks. He's a funny man, and it was great just bringing him into the studio. For Cinder, we have Christina Ricci as the voice of Cinder, so we're really excited about her role this time. And then we have Mark Hamill as the voice of the Dark Master. So again, just an all-star cast. And then don't want to forget, Blair Underwood is also the voice of Hunter, who's like this cheetah warrior. So all-star cast. It really feels like you're playing through a Pixar or Disney film. The Legend of Spyro Dawn of the Dragon will be released on PlayStation 3, Xbox 360, Nintendo Wii, PlayStation 2, and a DS. And it'll be out this October.